All right. Very windy. Not sure I'm going to be able to record here with the wind blowing the trees. The wind seems to be right in my face coming from the west as I'm walking back toward the house. Anyway, I guess I can do a very quick vlog, because I know listening to this is going to just be that dreadful sound of the wind tearing into the mic, and walking in the trees here doesn't seem to be doing much good. So just briefly, today is Wednesday, the 29th of April. April has 30 days. Tomorrow will be the last day of April. Friday the 1st of May, and perhaps in May things will change in terms of this lockdown, which, to be honest, doesn't really bother me too much. The only thing I'd like is if I could freely go backward and forward to the Connemara without worrying about police cars. Other than that, so yes, that's today. Flo did lots of shopping today. She just came back with 2 big bags filled. We got about 10 packets of biscuits. I had a flashback to waiting for my mother to come back from Tesco with the shopping back in around 1982. So we're stocked up. I was just thinking, one thing she didn't get was loo roll. Something I may have to get. The other thing was, from the previous entry, I gathered I just had this idea to try and take all my writings and methodically just put them all out there on my Ed Fitzgerald channel, which I've changed to This Life, to I called it Anonymous. Because I'm always trying to come up with some format that is something I can do every day that serves kind of some purpose, a long-term goal. I'm enjoying doing these audio things every day. I actually enjoy listening back to them sometimes at night. They may or may not have some value in the future to me. And anyway, I really enjoy doing them, so I'm not too bothered about their future aspect. And they are something I do effortlessly. I was saying that yesterday. And if you find something you can do effortlessly, then you've really found your thing, you know. And so, with that in mind, and just this morning I was just going through one of the little red notebooks from 2007, and I know that in a lot of the notebooks there is little bits that are good. There's just thinking about now, there's a whole lot of stuff just about alcohol, which, yeah, that's something. I'm not sure I want to read all that out, come to think of it. Maybe I will just pick a notebook or pick something and just edit it in my, very quickly just go through it. And if I find sections I think I'd like to keep, then I can turn on the mic and start talking. If you depressing and not interesting to me, because they're just writing about me and Flo and some depressing incident. I don't want to go through all that again, I've done it already. Just being audio tracks, visual. I was thinking maybe a photograph of the time or something, 2 or 3 photographs. Audio thing, 30 minutes. What I like is for it to stick. And I really enjoy the process of filming, and then it comes to the part of the evening that I enjoy, because I don't know what's coming next. I just pick one up, I literally go through it. I find bits to read. That way I can be recording stuff, putting stuff out, putting headings on things, put a little title on everything. Each piece got to be about something. And it might be satisfying a few things at one time. Anyways, regards today, well, I deleted my Transport Fever game last night. That was going so well. I was trying to do some of the very difficult industries that I really hadn't ever figured out where to do it. The organisation is just really complicated for certain industries that require so many other things, you know. Everything requires steel. And also plastic, but you need so much to make those. And anyway, I put in loads of rules. I thought I was going to just 50 vehicles in each line, and I'm going to let things run, but it didn't work. It's just so hard to keep track, especially if you're going from one end of the map to the other. It's so hard to keep track of what's what. You know, and if something doesn't work, I know it gives you hints, but it's just, it kind of, it stretches the having fun bit, and it becomes really irritating. Anyway, in the end I had all these roads and all this crap all over the map, so I like doing that. I just ripped it up, that's enough. I'm going to start fresh. That is something brilliant about this game. You can start fresh. That gives it so much replayability. Red Dead Redemption is not like that. You know, if I get fed up with Red Dead Redemption, I'm not going back to the beginning this time. I think it'll be just maybe a long break. But anyway, that's about that for today. It's just a short little bit. Too windy. I'm going back to have some lunch.
Number one, and the biggest increased cost, will be the lack of footfall, because the capacity will be significantly reduced. And yes, there will almost have to be a C19 officer on the floor, whether it be in terms of monitoring access to toilets or how actual food and drink is consumed, served, because there is a lot of talk that it will be all table based, that there'll be no standing, so that you will have to actually have table service, and that obviously adds to the cost base. And it's not like as if the margins were all that high already. So there are a lot of challenges there. But the one thing, as Paul said,
waiting to go for a walk, aren't we?
You know, publicans have reinvented themselves, and they will reinvent themselves, and they will have a strong future.
Right, and we
but
look forward
it'll be a challenge short term.
We look forward to see you all back in business again. Pádraig Cribben, Chief Executive of the Vintners Federation of Ireland. Thank you. We'll take a break.
They're all across the country. your local Spar, Eurospar, Mace, Londis and XL stores. Together they are owned by 1,000 independent retailers and employ 23,000 local heroes, providing you with the daily essentials and much, much more at great value in a shop close to home. Quick and easy, but safe too, with numbers on premises tightly controlled and social distancing in-store clearly marked. And supporting each and every one, BWG Foods.
Micheál Martin, good morning to you. Have you got an understanding with Leo Varadkar that you will take the office of Taoiseach first in the event of this coalition getting over the line?
We have a broad understanding on a whole range of issues, Sean. The more fundamental one being the philosophy and the orientation of the government and the direction it should take. You know, we have views in terms of the architecture of government,
So who goes first?
So, you know, those issues we will broach when we see clearly that there's a prospect of a government being formed.
But have you got an understanding with Leo Varadkar that you go first?
As I said, Sean, we have a broad understanding on many issues. I'm not going any further than that. I'm not going any further at this stage. I don't think it's helpful at this stage.
Get more from The Story on Today with Sean O'Rourke, weekdays from 10 a.m. on RTE Radio 1.
Text 51551. Drive Time with Mary Wilson on RTE Radio 1.
It's 5 o'clock and we'll take a look at what's still to come on today's Drive Time. Total lockdown for asylum seekers in Kerry after a COVID outbreak. Residents and locals unite in calls to close new direct provision centre in Carhassaveen. Extraordinary measures for an extraordinary time, but when do we count the cost? A summer of sport has vanished in Ireland, but a major American sporting event is still on track for an August date in the Aviva. And Della Kilroy hears from local enterprises diversifying to help stop the spread of COVID-19. All these stories to come here on Drive Time after the news with Shane McGowan.
Good evening. The Taoiseach Leo Varadkar has said that he hoped to be able to set out in the coming days the steps to reopen the country and to ease the restrictions aimed at curbing the spread of the COVID-19 virus. He said the conditions were not yet right for the lifting of restrictions on movement, gatherings and only essential work. Mr. Varadkar also said the government was considering advising people to wear what he called face coverings in public. Speaking to reporters at a COVID-19 community assessment hub in Dublin, he outlined the requirements to be met before restrictions could be eased.
We'll get new advice from the Chief Medical Officer on Friday as to when we should start that process of reopening the country and reopening the economy. And in doing so, we really have to look at things like the number of patients who are in ICUs with COVID, the number of new cases, the number of deaths, and I don't think I'd be out of school by saying that those numbers just aren't good enough yet.
The Forza trade union has criticised HSE proposals to allow healthcare workers facing childcare difficulties during the coronavirus outbreak to be paid while at home. The Health Service Executive said the arrangement